Some say that ethics do not go hand in hand with business. But apparently, Kroger is bucking the norm on that because they just ousted their longtime CEO, Rodney McMullen, for ethics violations. Now, what's happened is back on February 21st, an investigation was made by an independent counsel at Kroger, and they determined that basically his behavior did not meet their ethics standards. Now, McMullen has now stepped down from the company, and he's been with the company since he was a stock boy. Okay. He's been with it, I want to say like 46 years. Crazy. And because of him stepping down, he is not eligible to receive his bonuses for the 2024 year. And to put that in perspective, in 2023, he made almost 16 million of total compensation.
Oh.
Now, everybody is being very mum about what exactly he did that was inconsistent with certain company policies. And they're not even pointing out exactly which policies he was breaking. But we do know in the past, other CEOs have been outed, either fired or resigned due to ethics. Okay. So let's do a little stroll down memory lane here of some past CEOs and their ethical breaches. Okay.
Ooh.
Sounds like a good time. First one is Steve Easterbrook. He was the CEO of McDonald's in 2019. He was fired for engaging in a consensual relationship with an employee, which violated their company policy, because McDonald's has an extremely strict policy prohibiting managers from having romantic relationships with subordinates. And actually, a lot of companies have that one, so it's not, unheard of.
Yeah.
Now, what's really interesting is he was let go with a substantial severance package, but later investigations revealed he had engaged in multiple inappropriate relationships and had approved stock grants for one of these employees. So McDonald's sued him, and Easterbrook ended up having to agree to pay back $105 million in cash and stock to settle the lawsuit. That's crazy. Okay, the next one is Mark Hurd, who was the co-CEO of Hewlett Packard in 2010. He was forced to resign after an internal investigation found that he had violated company policy related to expense reports. Doesn't sound that bad until you find out that it all came out because of a probe due to sexual harassment that was filed by a contractor. And while the investigation did not find evidence of harassment, it did reveal that he submitted inaccurate expense reports to conceal a personal relationship that he had with the person that filed sexual harassment. So that was interesting. Now, Sanderson Farms CEO Joe F. Sanderson Jr., he was forced to step down in 2023 after a DUI arrest, and he had multiple run-ins with similar things. And while it wasn't quite a major public scandal, it did raise concerns about his leadership, because I personally am thinking that leadership is important, and you don't want ones that go out and have DUIs.
Decision-making skills. This shows that there's a lapse in judgment, if you will.
Honestly, so far, all three of them have had huge lapse in judgment. So I could see why they would not want them running their companies.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian Krzanich was the CEO of Intel, and he resigned in 2018 after it was discovered he had a consensual relationship with an employee, violating the company's strict no fraternization policy. And Intel had recently reinforced its policies around workplace relationships, and therefore the board determined he had to step down.
Well, yeah, that's probably the least offensive so far.
I know, right? I mean, like, give the guy a break. It was just, one relationship. Um, Travis Kalanick, this one's getting a little more spicy. He was the CEO of Uber in 2017. Was forced to resign in 2017 due to multiple scandals. The first one is that he fostered a toxic workplace culture, including reports of sexual harassment and discrimination. There
Boy.
was a viral video showing him berating an Uber driver over the fares. And then he was later accused of helping Uber steal trade secrets for self driving car technology. So we're going to call that definitely a three whammy type situation.
The allegations are a little more intense in that scenario, for sure.
Yeah. Then I feel like this is getting spicier as we go. The
Okay.
next one, I'm sure you'll remember, John Schnattner, the Papa John's founder and CEO back in
Mhm.
2018, he was forced to resign after saying a racial slur during a company conference call.
Yep,
He
remember
had,
that.
and before that even happened, he was already getting backlash because he blamed declining sales on the NFL's handling of the national anthem protests.
Boy.
And then with his image being damaged and whatnot. And since he was such a public figure in that
Mhm.
company, it's no, you know, it's no surprise that he ended up selling off almost all of his shares of the company and he's no longer part of it in any capacity.
I mean, he was the guy in the commercials. Like,
Exactly. Everybody
he,
literally knew him. He was Papa John.
yeah, he was the face of the company. Not only, I mean, because there's a lot of people who were, CEO and founders, but you have
You
no
don't
idea
know
what they
their
look like.
name, you
Right.
know?
Oh,
And
but you knew
so
John.
even though we don't know what the former CEO of Kroger did because they're not releasing it. They're not really they gave just enough detail for you to know that he did something, but
Yeah.
not to clue you in on what. But I will say that I have set up a Google alert on his name. So if anybody spills the beans, it will alert me because I am so interested. I mean, think of what all Kroger's been through in the last couple years. They have a
Yeah.
failed merger with Albertsons. Now
Yep.
they're being sued by Albertsons. So
Yep.
all of that's not great for public image. But he didn't get fired for cause, leading the wrong troops into battle here.
Well, and I think if it had been related to a lot of the merger things that have happened, like it's easy to point that out and say, look, we've had some issues with the mergers. We feel we need new leadership, blah, blah, blah. Like they could have easily leaned into that. But the fact that they went a whole other route makes me suspicious.
Yes. And they actually, in their statement, specifically said that the conduct of Rodney McMullen is not related to financial performance, operations, or reporting, and it did not involve any Kroger associates. So I'm thinking it's not sexual harassment, it's not having a consensual relationship, it's none of what the other CEOs did, but it kind of makes me wonder, is it possible a DUI, a drug arrest?
I mean, some of that would be public record, though. So
Right.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what the Google comes up with.
Now, I do say that this is a great opportunity for the next Kroger CEO, and they did name a replacement while they're like an interim CEO while they're looking for a
Right.
more permanent replacement.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a great opportunity for Kroger to do some huge restructuring, to more focus on their customers and not on their profit, because Kroger has been getting bad mouth left and right about their customer service, the way that, they don't make things easy for their customers anymore. So this is the perfect opportunity to be like, Kroger, get your crap in order. Let's, get back to being a good Kroger and maybe you'll win back your customers.
I know this isn't the point of any of this, but I was in Kroger the other day and and I've gotten to the point where I don't even do like they have the five, do five, save five, whatever. I don't
I
even do
can't
them
figure them
anymore.
out.
Correct. I don't do them anymore because I usually don't buy enough of whatever item it is. and I had three in my cart, and I had seen another one, and it was something I needed. And so I was like, okay, I've got four. 100% can grab something that falls in this category, right? So I have the four. I find the fifth bag of meatballs. Cool. Frozen meatballs. I could just chuck in the freezer. Great for a dinner night. That's perfect. I still don't know if I got the sale price or not.
Because their receipts are so confusing. And if you ask somebody, they're like, oh, yeah, sure, you got it. But they can't show you where you got it.
They don't even know.
No.
I was like, I can't tell if I got the sale price or not. And she just kind of shrugged at me. I was like, you work here. Like, if anybody's going to know, you're going to know. Like, I don't help. And then they don't help. And yes. The
Yeah.
only plus side is the Reese's Easter eggs were like the egg shaped Reese's were on sale. So, whatever. I
So
won.
that's the only reason you went to Kroger was the Reese's eggs, not for the deals. I'm a little sad you didn't share. But anywho, let us know down below. What would you speculate that the CEO did to be forcibly resigned? And do you think we'll ever find out? Because I'm wondering if this is going to be like the Loch Ness Monster, where we've all heard about it, but we don't know the answer.
Could he have clipped his toenails in his office?
Oh gosh, yeah. Thanks a lot.